1. When teaching pickleball to adult beginners, which principle of andragogy should a level 1 instructor prioritize? A. Adults learn best through memorization and repetition. B. Adults are motivated when learning is self-directed and relevant. C. Adults prefer abstract theory before practical application. D. Adults require more authority-driven instruction than youth. 2. Which communication strategy best ensures clarity when explaining scoring in pickleball to new adult learners? A. Use only written handouts for review. B. Provide verbal instructions once and move on. C. Demonstrate the scoring process step by step with live examples. D. Encourage players to guess until they understand. 3. When developing a beginner curriculum, what should an LI instructor emphasize first? A. Complex double strategies. E. Advanced spin techniques. C. Safety, rules, and basic court positioning. D. Tournament preparation drills. 4. An instructor notices a student struggling with the serve due to inconsistent ball contact. What is the most effective corrective approach? A. Reprimand the player to improve focus. B. Model the correct serve and provide targeted feedback. C. Skip the serve and focus only on returns. D. Assign the player to observe peers until confident. 5. Which method of evaluation best measures whether adult learners have grasped basic pickleball rules? A. Written test on definitions. B. Time drills without rule application. C. Scenario-based role play during live play. D. Instructor lecture, followed by questions. 6. An LI instructor wants to assess communication effectiveness. Which approach is most valid? A. Counting how many times players nod. B. Asking learners to re-explain rules in their own words. C. Watching players quietly without feedback. D. Measuring the time taken to complete drills. 7. Which regulatory responsibility is essential for an LI instructor during a training session? A. Ensuring paddles meet ITF standards. B. Enforcing proper footwear and court safety protocols. C. Allowing players to choose any rules they prefer. D. Replacing the net mid-session for consistency. 8. When designing a session for older adult learners, what adaptation demonstrates sound curriculum planning? A. Extend rest intervals and pace instruction gradually. B. Focus solely on high-intensity drills. C. Limit instruction to advanced strategy. D. Exclude safety reminders. 9. Which mentoring technique most supports new instructors shadowing a certified LI? A. Provide constructive feedback after observation sessions. B. Withhold feedback until certification exams. C. Focus exclusively on errors without acknowledging strengths. D. Assign them to teach independently without supervision. 10. When introducing dinking to beginners, which teaching strategy aligns best with adult learning principles? A. Demonstrate first, then allow players to experiment. B. Begin with abstract lectures on spin mechanics. C. Force repetition without explanation. D. Assign reading about dinking. 11. An instructor wants to evaluate if students retain knowledge of fault rules. Which method is best? A. Quiz during mid-session breaks. B. Allow errors to pass uncorrected. C. Rely solely on final tournament results. D. Ask learners to teach the rule back to a peer. 12. What is the most important factor in aligning a curriculum with IPTPA standards? A. Personal teaching style of the instructor. B. Consistency with standardized learning objectives. C. Player preference for casual play only. D. Using only online video resources. 13. A student expresses frustration with slow progress. What is the best coaching response? A. Ignore the frustration and continue drills. B. Acknowledge the concern and set short-term achievable goals. C. Increase drill complexity to challenge the player. D. Allow the player to skip foundational skills. 14. Which communication skill is most effective when teaching court positioning? A. Delivering long, uninterrupted explanations. B. Demonstrating visually and reinforcing with cues. C. Speaking quickly to maximize drill time. D. Avoiding demonstrations to encourage self-discovery. 15. Which evaluation tool best supports formative assessment during practice? A. End-of-course written test. B. Real-time observation and immediate corrective feedback. C. Peer survey after the course. D. Tournament ranking systems. 16. How should an LI instructor address diverse learning speeds among adult players? A. Use differentiated instruction with modified drills. B. Progress everyone at the same pace, regardless of ability. C. Focus only on the fastest learners. D. Halt a session until all players are at the same level. 17. A core responsibility of IPTPA certified instructors is A. Promoting standardized teaching practices for skill development. B. Customizing rules per student preference. C. Focusing only on competitive athletes. D. Avoiding adult education principles. 18. Which mentoring method ensures long-term skill retention for new instructors? A. Structured observation, feedback, and progressive teaching roles. B. One-time lecture on teaching techniques. C. Allowing independent practice without guidance. D. Correcting only after certification failure. 19. During skill evaluation, what is the most objective measure of student progress? A. Instructor's personal opinion. B. Documented performance against specific criteria. C. Pause. Peer feedback only. D. General enjoyment level reported by player. 20. Which principle of adult learning emphasizes connecting new skills to past experiences? A. Self-direction. B. Experiential learning. C. Passive absorption. D. Authority-based compliance. 21. What is the best strategy for teaching scoring in doubles to avoid confusion? A. Use diagrams and live demonstrations with repetition. B. Provide only written rules without practice. C. Skip scoring until tournament play. D. Assign learners to study the rulebook at home. 22. Which feedback technique promotes confidence while improving accuracy? A. Highlight strengths first, then address corrections. E. List only the student's mistakes. C. Offer generic encouragement with no detail. D. Withhold feedback to encourage self-learning. 23. How can instructors ensure regulatory compliance with IPTPA teaching standards? A. Follow the IPTPA curriculum framework and safety requirements. B. Modify the curriculum independently for entertainment. C. Skip structured teaching to focus on fun. D. Avoid documentation of student progress. 24. What is the best curriculum design for beginner sessions? A. Progressive skill building with clear objectives. B. Random drills without sequencing. C. Immediate focus on tournament-level tactics. D. Exclusively endurance-based conditioning. 25. An adult learner struggles with motivation. Which method is most effective? A. Connect skills to personal goals, fitness, recreation, competition. B. Enforce strict drills without explanation. C. Focus only on punishment for mistakes. D. Ignore personal learning preferences. 26. What is the most ethical mentoring practice for an LI instructor guiding an apprentice? A. Providing consistent feedback while modeling professional behavior. B. Withholding resources to test resilience. C. Publicly criticizing performance in front of players. Avoiding formal mentoring commitments. 27. What role does reflective practice play for LI instructors? A. Helps evaluate teaching effectiveness and adjust methods. B. Encourages ignoring mistakes to build confidence. C. Limits opportunities for continuous improvement. D. Discourages learner feedback. 28. Which communication method is most effective for visual learners? A. Diagrams, demonstrations, and visual cues. E. Long lectures on theory. C. Audio recordings only. D. Written rules without practice. 29. What should an instructor do when a player repeatedly commits foot faults? A. Stop the session and disqualify the player. B. Provide visual demonstration and corrective drills. C. Ignore the issue to maintain pace. D. Allow peer correction without instructor input. 30. Which element of adult learning theory supports autonomy and motivation? A. Self-directed learning. B. Mandatory rote drills. C. Authority-only methods. D. Passive observation. 31. During mentoring, why is co-teaching valuable? It allows apprentices to practice while receiving immediate feedback. B. It minimizes opportunities for error. C. It eliminates the need for supervision. D. It focuses only on theoretical instruction.